Hey out there, this is Buzz with the Survival Buzz. So I wanted to go over everyday carry items today, as well as survival items that I think are important to have in your vehicle, but not limited to that. So here goes. We'll start with the everyday carry. Now, where I live in a smaller town, a smaller area, just good old boys mainly. I do go into the edge of the big city to work every day. And where I work, I can't have a firearm inside the building. So now I don't necessarily always have this on my person, but I do always have this gun in my vehicle just in case. So now, obviously, it doesn't matter what kind of gun you have. This is what I've chosen. I have a Sky 9mm CPX2. I chose this because it's very affordable. You can get one of these for roughly around $300 with transfer fees and all. I like them because they're modeled somewhat after like a Glock. They hold 10 rounds. They're easy to conceal. In my mind, 10 rounds is plenty. They do come with 2 magazines, so you have the extra magazine if you want to store it on your person or in your vehicle. 20 rounds is quite a bit to carry around, or at least for me. So I carry that as well as lighters. Now, I always have a lighter in my pocket as well as an extra lighter or 2 in my vehicle. If I get stranded somewhere, fire is going to be pretty important as far as being able to stay warm or cook food if I need to, if I'm out there that long. As well as knives. I carry a pocket knife like this, sort of a Swiss style knife here. Very sharp, razor sharp edge on it. You could cut animals, skin animals with this if you had to. So I always have that in my pocket, as well as, a larger folder like that on my person. And typically I even have an extra knife or 2 in my truck, just in case. All right, now moving on. Now those are just items that I normally carry on my person or within reach of in my vehicle. Another good item to have if you're stranded somewhere, a compass of some sorts. Now this is just a cheap $3 or $4 compass, I believe. You can get as extravagant as you want to. That's one area in my preps I've really never spent too much money on. I think the most expensive compass I have is like $10. But it gives you a rough idea of what direction you're going, which can be important. And then I guess doing security work so many times, I think having a notebook and a pen, the ability to take notes and write things down, is very important depending on where you're at and what your situation is. If you're in the middle of nowhere, this might not do you as much good unless you want to keep like a journal or something. If you're in an urban environment, a notepad could be very important to have to keep notes. If you're stuck in a situation and you have to get out of it, you might want to take notes of your surroundings and things going on around you so you can know how to react at certain times. All right, moving on, and these are in no particular order whatsoever. Some type of food in your vehicle, something. I don't carry a lot, but I, at bare minimum, have something like this. I mean, these are 160 calories a serving, 8 servings. That's quite a bit of protein and calorie intake there if I needed it. Life straw. And it doesn't have to be a life straw, but something of the sort, something that you can filter water. There's all kinds of different companies that make this stuff, some better than others. But the ability to have something like this, to have drinking water no matter where you're at, could be life or death. I mean, you can't go more than a few days without water. These give you ability you could drink out of a puddle, a pond, a toilet if you had to. Very important thing to have in any survival situation, but the ability to do it, if you're stuck somewhere and you at least have your vehicle, pretty important thing. All right, moving on. This is something I added recently. It's a binocular. You can get binoculars. You can spend whatever you want. I think this one's like $30. It's not extravagant by no means. But this gives me the ability to look at my surroundings. If I'm stuck somewhere, especially in an urban environment, I'm going to want to know what's going on around me. If the SHTF is really going on out there bad, then I'm going to want to know what's going on. And this is the best way in my mind, to find that out without creeping around people too close. So having the ability to see what's going on, and there again, this goes hand in hand with the notepad that I mentioned. The ability to take notes on what you're seeing around you can really help you out. All right, paracord. You can either just carry, I think this is 25 yards or something of it. You can carry just something like this, or a lot of people have the bracelets. I have a few of them, but it's not something that I normally wear. It's just not me. But they have the bracelets and stuff. Some even have the compasses on them. You can use the paracord in your boots you're wearing, or like I said, you can just have it in a package and throw it in your vehicle or your back pocket or whatever, and you always have it. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. It's good for helping build shelters, which I didn't bring one, but if you have a tarp in your vehicle, just a small tarp is great to have for a multitude of reasons, but mainly for a make-to shelter, something that you can throw up real quick. Paracord and a tarp, there you go. So that's very important to have. As well as, depending on the season or where you live, in the summertime, I always have an extra layer, a flannel, a light jacket, a long sleeve, something in your vehicle, the ability to stay warm and have an extra layer if it gets cool in the evening. Or, and I've worn this in a lot of my videos, this is my go-to cold weather jacket. I had a blazer once, then my heater went out for a few years, and I got online like, what's the warmest jacket I can get for my money? This was on there. I went to the thrift store and found one, 60 bucks. And let me tell you, this thing will get you through some cold weather, especially if you have an extra few layers. So whether I'm wearing this or not, if I'm going on a long ride, like it takes 20 minutes or so to get to work, I don't wear this in my vehicle, but I always have something like this in my vehicle if it's cold weather out, because, the ability to stay warm if it gets too cold. So depending on the season, you always want an extra layer to have. As well as I always keep, just old Walmart sacks, plastic sacks in my vehicle. I mean, there's a multitude of things you can do with that too. They're a good insulator. You can collect things in them. You can even hold water in them if they don't have a bunch of holes and stuff in them. As well as I carry this. The only reason I have this is I found this at Goodwill of all places, but it's actually, show you. I paid like $1 or $2 for this, so I'm sure there's a lot better ones out there, but it folds out into a backpack. So I always have this in my vehicle, all stored away, just to have an extra bag. If I do got to go on foot, I can throw all this stuff in it, as well as carry other things in it, some wood or whatever it may be to get by. So, and like I said, the only reason I have that one, I know it's bright red, but I paid like $1, I believe, for it. So another good item to have in the vehicle, these little, and a lot of people don't know about these, they're pretty cool. These little GI can openers. I think a pack of 5 of them is like not even $5, a couple bucks, I believe. But this gives you the ability to open canned goods, so if you're, depending on your situation, you never know how bad it could be. It could just be merely you ran out of gas, or the end of the world is happening. Having a can opener like this, something small that you can fit in your pocket or on your person, is really an asset. I mean, if you run across some canned goods and you're starving to death and no way to open it, you're going to want to have something like this, right? So, good item to have. They're not exactly super easy to use, but they are small. And most of the things I'm showing you today are fairly small. I could throw pretty much everything I have here in that small backpack I have and hit the ground running if I had to. So, as well as a flashlight. I like these types of flashlights because you can plug them in. I don't like messing around with batteries. I quit doing that years ago. Everything I buy is rechargeable. As long as you have a few solar chargers around or a means to charge them. I have a cord for this. I can charge it in my truck while my battery's still good, and I have light for days. So, kind of an important item, I feel like. Now, there's lots of other things you can carry, and I'm sure you guys have lots of great ideas out there. If you want to leave ideas down in the comments for other people, that'd be great. And this isn't my complete arsenal here, but these are just small items and ideas that I'm giving people to carry with you that could really save your life in an SHTF situation, or just a basic situation where you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and you have to have warmth, you know, fire, a means to cook things, and the ability to kill things if you had to. So if you guys like this channel and you want to help support this channel, there's ways to do that down in the description box, as well as liking this channel and subscribing if you haven't already done so. Helps me a lot as well. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Later.